The 2025 NASCAR Canada Series Championship heads into the home stretch. 3 oval track races to decide who wins the title. 2 of them will take place right here at Delaware Speedway, just outside of London, Ontario. It's back-to-back 125-lap sprint races. And welcome into the broadcast booth. I'm Dave Bradley, joined by Trayton Lapcevich, fresh off his very first NASCAR Craftsman Series truck start, which didn't really go the way you had planned, but congrats on that.
Thanks, Dave. No, it didn't, but you know what? Gained a lot of experience. I was feeling really comfortable in the truck. We were making some positions, running pretty well there. Unfortunately, our last pit stop, we had a loose wheel, broke a few wheel studs. Ended our night just a little bit early, but like I said, super thankful for the opportunity. Had a lot of fun, great experience, but now I'm excited. 2 125-lap races here at Delaware Speedway. It's a Saturday night. The tensions are high. We're getting close in the championship, and I'm excited to see how it turns out.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And now the road courses are in our rear-view mirror, and you could say that they favored the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron, but now we're in the backyard of the driver of the 17, DJ Kennington. He cut his racing teeth here. He's got thousands of laps here at Delaware.
Not to mention all the wins DJ has here, whether it's a street stock, late model, NASCAR Canada Series car. DJ has so many laps here. This is where he became a champion, and this is his chance to seize the championship and really take control.
Yeah, some other stories we'll be following tonight include the return of the 28 of Ryan Vargas back in the seat and back in the series here in the NASCAR Canada Series. He missed the last 2 races, but excited to make his return on the oval, and a couple of fresh faces to the series as well. In the 3 is Connor Pritico, and the 30 of Jonathan Arts.
Yeah, really not a better place for Ryan Vargas to make his return back into the series. He had many great runs early in the season there, and then he gets to come back at Delaware Speedway, which is DJ's backyard, as we mentioned. He gets to lean on that experience that DJ has, and the car setup, car feel that DJ has. So really good place to make his return, and really exciting for Connor Pritico and Jonathan Arts to be making their first starts here tonight. These are 2 drivers who have a lot of laps in late models here at Delaware Speedway. Connor Pritico is a 2-time APC winner here at Delaware, one win in the Great Canadian 100 there, which is a really prominent late model race here. And then Jonathan Arts, who has a ton of laps here in a late model as well, really doing well in the weekly series here and getting some top 5s and top 10s, which has been great to see, and excited for them both to be making their first start here tonight.
Those drivers, along with the rest of them, all took to the track just a short time ago for E3 Sparkplugs pole qualifying, and it was the hometown kid, the 17 of DJ Kennington, who took pole position, a time of 18.97 seconds, just a shade off a new track record, but a very, very quick time. So he'll lead the field to green, but one of the drivers with arguably the most pressure on his shoulders is the driver of the 96, and earlier our Todd Lewis caught up with Marc-Antoine Cameron.
And your pole sitter from St. Thomas, Ontario, the Castrol Edge, Brimstone Games, CIM medals.
Comfortable, especially with 2 races on the same night.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think the 17 show up that he didn't give up, so we have to do a good 2 race here in Delaware. We're gonna start P3 for the first race, so car feels pretty good, a little bit loose, which is I think is gonna be good for the race. So we'll see what we can do here today.
You've been known to be aggressive at times. Do you take a different approach tonight, or do you charge the way you usually do?
No, we're going with the offense. I mean, I think we got we have to be intelligent too, but. No, definitely going for, if I can, for the W, and we'll see what's going to happen today.
Marc-Antoine Cameron rolling off P3. He'd like to have a big hold on the championship by the end of the night.
Thank you.
And when we return to Delaware Speedway, when he started out, they called him the Castrol Kid, but DJ Kennington is the only driver to ever start every single NASCAR Canada Series race. He's got 225 starts to his credit, and he's very, very good here at Delaware Speedway, isn't he?
DJ Kennington is really good here at Delaware Speedway. This is home track, as we mentioned, is where he grew up, and he's always a guy that's there to offer advice.
Yeah, so he's one of the drivers we're going to be watching today. And again, he's one of those drivers who grew up in this series. He's been so very, very good. He's got a championship in 2010. That was his first. The latest coming in 2012. But DJ Kennington is a contender once again here this year, potentially to add to that championship total. So it's one of those races where you can't really attack the track, go full out, but this is a track that DJ Kennington is so very, very good at. So when we return, we will talk to the driver of the 17 as we continue the lead up to green here at Delaware Speedway. And welcome back to Delaware Speedway. We are getting set for the start of the APC 125, the first of two 125-lap races we'll be bringing you tonight live on RevTV. There is DJ Kennington, who claimed his first of two NASCAR Canada Series championships back in 2010, but he has a very good shot at adding to that total this year. He'll roll off on pole for tonight's race a little earlier. He spoke with Todd Lewis.
Indeed, he is the veteran of the series, the mayor, if you will, of the NASCAR Canada Series. DJ, I know you always try to focus on the next challenge, the next task at hand, but you have to think a little bit about, okay, everything started here for me at Delaware Speedway and going back all those years.
Yeah, it starts when you get out of bed in the morning now, Todd, that you got to start talking to yourself and say, hey, we got to get going here. As I get older, it's just different, but coming here is home for me. Even just saying that gives me a little bit of a chill. They started here when I was 16, and actually when I was 15 doing some testing and so on. And then when I was 16, started racing here every Friday night, and loved every minute of it, and gained so much experience and so many veteran race car drivers that helped me in the first few years that ended up racing a long time in the NASCAR Series at the time and moved into NASCAR, obviously. But yeah, it's been a journey, and love coming home, love being here at Delaware Speedway, and here's hoping tonight's a good night for us.
The other part is the support you get when you're introduced during driver introductions. There's a big cheer. Your mom and dad are here today, which is fantastic to see. Family, friends, everybody comes out to support DJ.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, try hard to just be a good person, and it goes a long way. My dad taught me that a long time ago, and seeing him, I didn't even know he was coming today. You know, he doesn't come a lot, Todd. So seeing him and Mom walk in was pretty cool. A little emotional for me, actually, and glad that they're here.
Do you think back to when it started, how it's changed, and how it's evolved over the years to where we are now?
It's crazy. I remember, everybody thinks, you know, you do this deal, and I've had great sponsors, obviously Castrol from day one, but, you know, you get the lines that people, you know, you're a Silver Spoon kid and everything else, and my dad used to sell scrap just to get enough tire money to get here on Friday nights, and to see where we've come, what we've, you know, succeeded at with my race team and with my family. I mean, my dad's obviously my number one supporter. He built my engines for years. Heck, he's 85 years old and still works harder than I do. I mean, it's unbelievable what the man's done, and yeah, it's awesome to be here. Things have changed so much. I'm very, very, very proud to be able to say that we're still here and we're still competitive and we're still doing it.
How do you approach tonight? Twin races, 125 laps, no pit stops, it's just go.
Yeah, it is. It reminds me of the old 35 laps here at Delaware on a Friday night, and you don't have time. You just got to go. And you have to save a little bit early, I think, but man, there's so many good cars and so many good teams and so on in this series. It's tougher and tougher, and it's nice having the, I guess you would say, the home track advantage, but the Castrol car was awesome in practice. I'm really happy with it. Hopefully we can qualify near the front and get ourselves a couple checker flags, and heck, we're close, Todd. We're racing for a championship.
The other part of this too is you're still having as much fun as you did when you started.
Oh man, it's like I've told people before. I don't know how to end it, because I wake up in the morning, I think racing. I go to bed at night, I think racing. Just ask my family. I mean, it's just me. It's what we do, and all the support of my wife and kids, and Chase and his hockey team just got done playing. They got their first win of the season. I'm sad I wasn't there because I helped coach, but the whole team, coaching staff, everything's coming to the game again today, or to the race tonight, straight from the game. So it's just cool to have all those people here, and we're going to put on a hell of a show for them.
DJ Kennington looking for a couple of checkered flags tonight. Good luck.
Thanks, Todd.
Super focused in the car, but always such a nice guy when he's walking around the paddock. DJ Kennington, a contender to win tonight. When we return, we'll take a look at the other contenders and how they stack up tonight as a countdown to green for the NASCAR Canada Series continues. Welcome back to Delaware Speedway. We are getting closer to the start of the APC 125, the first of two 125-lap events here tonight. The NTN 125 will start around 8:20. But first, the business at hand. And this first sprint race is a big one, and it'll be big for the championship leader, Marc-Antoine Cameron. And he hasn't been particularly good here in the past.
Yeah, for whatever reason, this is a track that Marc-Antoine Cameron has really struggled at. Only 3 top 10s here. That doesn't sound bad at all, but it may not be up to par with what Mark is generally used to. But you know what? Delaware Speedway is a tough track, and it's a tough one to get used to. It's nothing like we really do. But he's had speed here today in practice and qualifying, and maybe this is the year they turn it around here.
Another driver who's looking to reach victory lane and again solidify his position in the point standings is the number 27 of Andrew Ranger. He's been good here in the past. He's got championships to his credit already, but he's looking to add to that.
That's right. Andrew does have a win here back in 2021. He's been really fast this year. He's been coming on really as of late here with the win at GP3R here, as we're seeing. Strong run at iCar. And he's the winningest driver in series history, so he's definitely doing something right.
Yeah, for sure. And the final contender that we'll be watching tonight, of course, every driver is a contender, but the 74 of Kevin Lacroix. He's been good at Delaware. He hasn't been particularly good so far this season. He's had bad luck at times.
You just have some of those years, and it happens, right? He got a win at Saskatoon, but he's also had a lot of bad luck at Calabogie and CTMP. It's really been coming in tough for the 74 of Kevin Lacroix. Kind of set him back in that championship a lot, and at this point he's really just trophy hunting, and this is a track that's been good to him in the past.
Yeah, so those are some of the stories we'll be following over the course of this race, and we'll just take one more quick commercial break, and when we return we will fire the engines and get ready to start the race here at Delaware Speedway as everybody's just getting organized on the front straightaway, and when we return we will fire the engines to start up the APC 125 here at Delaware Speedway. Welcome back to Delaware Speedway, the first of two 125-lap races here at this historic half-mile track. And we are just preparing for the call to fire engines here as the field lined up on the front straightaway. But we talked about this track being a little bit difficult to get a grip on, and it's not a true oval. Turns 1 and 2 are a little bit different than 3 and 4, aren't they?
Yeah, it's really a lot different. I mean, turn 1's a little bit tighter. You want to be right there on the bottom. That's where all the speed is. Turn 3, you got to be up a little bit higher, and really there's about 3 different lines you can run in turn 3. It all depends on how the track is that night. You can run the bottom, you can run the top, you can run a little bit of a slider line, and that's really why it's so difficult to get a handle on Delaware Speedway.
It's been a beautiful day here. We did have a quick rain shower blow through just before practice around noontime, but from then on the sun's been out. And how temperature dependent is this track? You see the asphalt and then the concrete to the inside. They warm at different rates. So does that make it a slick track?
Yeah, and you know what? So they just paved the outside of this track just a few years ago, and it really made it a lot racier than it has been in the past. Generally, Delaware Speedway's been a very bottom-dominant track. You know, you couldn't get much grip on the outside through turn 1. The outside's preferred in turn 3, but you got to be able to stay there through turn 1. Now with this asphalt on the outside, guys are able to get a really good run down the backstretch, able to stay on the outside through turn 3 and 4, and it's really made it a 2-groove track.
And it's a wonderful track. It is the track that was first built in 1952. It's the oldest operating asphalt track in Canada. It's got a lot of character, and it makes for such a great race. And there you see one driver's hoping to have a great race. It is Marc-Antoine Cameron in the number 96. Again, he will roll off in third. DJ Kennington, your pole sitter. Donald Teague had a great run, too, and it was so tight for that top spot. But there you can see the field lined up here on the front straightaway. But everybody is sitting, waiting. They're all buckled in and ready for the command to get things going. And we are too, as why wait any longer? Let's head down to the front stretch for the command of fire engines.
Race fans, to give tonight's command, let's welcome one more time Sean, Corrine, and Natalie from APC.
Drivers, start your engines!
That's Sean Gordon, the marketing administrator, Corrine Malo, the marketing manager, and Natalie Cordell, the marketing coordinator from APC. Of course, the title sponsor of this first APC 125 here at Delaware Speedway. And just a handful of races left to go in the 2025 season. We talked about the points race, and it's not a huge margin, but it is a comfortable one for the 96, Marc-Antoine Cameron.
Yeah, definitely a good margin. He's got a comfortable lead, especially with the car counts that we have these last 3 races. I believe we got 14 cars here tonight at Delaware. So it's a little more difficult for the 27 of Andrew Ranger, the 17 of DJ Kennington to make up those spots. But at the same time, this is a double header. So, you know, the 96 has got to be smart. He's got to survive the first one to make sure he's got a car for the second one. This is a track where DJ's been good at, a track where Andrew Ranger's been good at. So there's a lot of potential to make those spots in the championship race.
I'm going to throw in the 80 of Donald Teague in that Gavois red and black car starting on the outside of the front row. This is going to be a race that is a Donald Teague type race. But first, I do want to talk about what's happening here at the front of the field. You can see the 98 of Malcolm Strawn out in front of an OPP Cruiser and then the pace car. But some sad news for that team, as one of the main team operators, the crew and car chief, Norm Simpson, sadly passed away from a heart attack. And tonight that team is racing in his honor. So our hearts go out to team owners Jim and Pam Bray, and Malcolm Strawn looking to put in a good showing in that number 98. But Norm is a face that will be desperately missed in the paddock for sure. All you had to do is look through social media to see tons of tributes come in from people affiliated with the paddock and those outside the racing circles looking in, and always saw a smiling Norm Simpson in the paddock and helping out the 98 team. And when you have such a small team as Jim and Pam Bray do, one member like that is just the glue in a lot of cases. Here's your starting lineup. DJ Kennington will lead him off pole, as we mentioned, and there is Donald Teague in the 80. Because it's a sprint race, this could be a race that Donald Teague does really well at. Your points leaders, the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron. There's a newcomer, Connor Pritico, super quick in practice and qualifying.
A lot of experience here at Delaware Speedway for Connor Pritico, and you know, it's a new car. It's different than a late model for sure, but we'll look. He's going to definitely lean on that experience tonight in a 125-lap race. 74
of Kevin Lacroix, again a winner just a year ago. He'll start on the inside of row number 3 alongside the 47 of LP Dumoulin, again looking for a good showing, sitting in 4th in points. Andrew Ranger, 2nd in points, will have his work cut out for him today. He'll start alongside his teammate Matthew Kingsbury, though.
Andrew Ranger, maybe not the speed that he wanted in qualifying, but I was looking at that car and it looked pretty stable, and that's a good sign when you're heading into 125 laps at Delaware Speedway.
There's a return of the 28 of Ryan Vargas and Jonathan Arts as his team owner, David White, makes his return to the NASCAR Canada Series. So a good news story for both driver and team owner. Larry Jackson had some issues in practice, and there is Malcolm Strawn in the 98. So they make up row number 6. Jackson seemed to have those sorted for qualifying, and the final row tonight will be made up of Dominic Scrivo and Brent Weller in the 69 and the 81. So 125 laps. We did hear Todd with DJ Kennington mention it's a purely sprint race. There's no no pit stops. There's no sort of game plan for any of these teams, no strategies that need to be played out. It's just go right from the drop of the green.
Yeah, DJ touched on it a little bit. You're probably not saving as much as you usually are in a 250 lap race, but there is a little bit of saving to be done. Delaware Speedway, it can pull apart those tires, so they're going to need to keep those general tires under them. I think DJ's a guy we're going to kind of see pace this field his way. If there's guys that are pressuring him, might want to get around him earlier, DJ will let him go, and he'll let him come back to him later in the race.
That is exactly what DJ has done throughout his NASCAR Canada Series career, and now the field lines up 2 by 2 down the back straightaway. The lights are out on the pace car. It will head for pit lane. I believe, no, it looks like they're going to do one more pace lap this time as the field forms down the back straightaway. Now it does. It dives in late, so didn't take the normal entrance to pit lane going into turn number 3, but that doesn't matter. The start now in the hands of the 17 of DJ Kennington as he jumps on the gas, sees the green, and we're underway here at Delaware. Not a very good start for Donald Teague in the 80. Drops back into the clutches of the GM Paille number 96, Marc-Antoine Cameron. And interesting to hear Cameron in his interview with Todd saying he's going to go full gas in this one. There's no laying back.
Definitely. The big thing when we were talking about strategy right before the drop of the green flag, you got to save a car for the second race. So that's what I'm going to be looking out for. It looks like the 96 lets the 80 get ahead there early, but that 80 car is looking good.
It is, even on the outside, powered around the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron as Donald Teague slots in behind the Castrol Edge Dodge of DJ Kennington. The feeling this is going to be a look that we'll see a lot of here today. Kennington paces the field. He's just up about a half a groove higher than Donald Teague at this point.
Yeah, and you'll see what I was talking about earlier in the night. DJ's running a little bit of a shallower entry into 3, whereas Donald Teague is hanging out a little bit higher throughout the whole corner. That's what I mean. You can run so many lines through turn 3 and 4 here as the 74 looks under the 3 of Connor Pritico.
That's a great start for the 74 of Kevin Lacroix. So whatever they tried in qualifying, they reverted back to, ooh, we've got contact for the lead, and around goes Donald Teague from second spot. Turn number 2 was where that contact was made, and it looks like Teague went to the inside. I'm not sure if DJ Kennington got the memo, but no caution. Teague refires, and we stay under green. Boy, what a change of events in the early portion of this one. There's Teague underneath, wiggles under braking, and that was a little bit of a late push to find that gap.
Yeah, I'd say the 17 of DJ Kennington wasn't expecting that dive into turn 1, especially so early into the race. The 80 was kind of showing it, but it didn't really look like he was going to make that move and just carrying a lot more entry speed than the 17 car.
Can I just point out this quick start number 74 of Kevin Lacroix? He is by far the fastest car on the track. He did not have a great qualifying effort, but man, has he lit the fuse in the early going.
And really faster on the bottom of 3 and 4, which is when you know a car's handling really good here.
Dives underneath the points leader, takes over second spot. So Marc-Antoine Cameron drops back to third, and now Kevin Lacroix goes hunting. He's looking outside as well, so now is when he starts to write his notes in his research book as a driver. And when you have a really good car, do you do that early in a run? Say, we know it works on the bottom. How about upstairs? Do you go searching?
Yeah, and it's especially just a characteristic of Delaware Speedway here. It's just that line through 3 and 4 is going to change so much throughout the night. Right now we're in the heat of the day. Later tonight it's going to cool down quite a bit as the sun goes down. So 74 is trying to figure out where his car is good right now. He's got to hunt down the 17 of DJ Kennington, and as you mentioned, there's no guaranteed cautions or nothing like that, so he doesn't want that gap to get too big.
I think Donald Teague would love to have a guaranteed caution after he fell right to the back. He is currently marked in 14th position. He is chasing Dominic Scrivo and will be able to catch him fairly quickly, but Kevin Lacroix, the fastest car on the track, chasing the 17 of DJ Kennington, now not as significantly as he was earlier, about a tenth of a second each and every lap. So Kennington has settled into a rhythm, but once again, let's head down to the pit side with a check in with Todd Lewis with a Pinty's pit side report. Todd?
Well, we can tell you that 74 team was really struggling with the handling of that car during the practice session. Checked in with the team a number of times, and they were all shaking their heads a little bit. And Kevin was saying the track feels funny. It didn't perform exactly the way he was expecting it from a year ago when he scored the victory here at Delaware Speedway. Just checked in with the team again and like, oh yeah, they're very happy, and understandably so. They made some adjustments and changes, but felt that they were on the right track, and now they are very happy with that car, and they are trying to hunt down that leader.
Kevin Lacroix sat on pole and won the race here 1 year ago in 2024. There's a good look at the other GM Paille entry, the number 27 of Andrew Ranger. Comes into this one second in points, just 19 points back. Currently under or just in behind the number 3 of Connor Pritico. Pritico running the APC colors along with Leland out of the EHR shop. And realistically, that 3 car, doesn't matter who's behind the wheel, that thing's been a rocket ship.
They've had a lot of speed this year, and Jason Hathaway, obviously running that car earlier in the year, was able to get a good notebook started out, and very successful team in the NASCAR Canada Series to begin with. So a lot of great drivers they've had in that seat of the 3 car, and Connor's doing a great job here so far early in this race.
It's funny to see DJ Kennington responding to the pressure. We talk about the lap times that Kevin Lacroix was laying down. DJ Kennington just recently turned the fastest lap of the race. So, yeah, he was probably settling into a nice quiet rhythm, and then he's like, wait, I got to go? Here's where I can go to. So a 19.2 second. That's a good look at the number 3 of Connor Pritico as DJ Kennington gets into lap traffic, and Dominic Scrivo and the Bolton GM, number 69, tucks to the inside. That's also a risk here because it is such a slick track on the inside. When you're working your way around lap traffic, you run the risk of making contact.
Yeah, and DJ really just trying to give a lot of room earlier in this race. He knows that he's got a second and a half gap. And he's in a position where he can take advantage of that. You know, the team's going to be talking to him in his ear, lap times behind with the 74 car, Kevin Lacroix, and just trying to manage that gap as the race goes on. Good
look at Marc-Antoine Cameron, the GM Paille, number 96, the driver from St. Leonard d'Aston, Quebec, just ahead of Connor Pritico, as we mentioned, but it looks like he is the plug in this bathtub drain as the 96 is holding up some traffic in behind. There's Pritico, and then there's Andrew Ranger just in behind as well. So something may be amiss. Maybe that car not handling quite as good as it was in practice for the driver of the 96, Marc-Antoine Cameron. Found it pretty interesting, the number of laps that Cameron did in practice earlier on today, turning 47 laps. He only turned his quickest lap in practice on lap 42, so that usually gives you an indication the driver's not fully happy with that car.
Yeah, it sounds like they're making a lot of improvements throughout that practice session, so maybe trying to figure out how the car's going to be in the long run, which might be why we see him struggling just a little bit right now earlier in this one, but the 96 is going to be all right as the 74 really closing that gap on the 17 DJ Kennington. We just saw the 74 of Kevin Lacroix turn his fastest lap now on lap 22, which indicates that the long run speed of that car is really good here tonight.
The gap is now just 1.1 seconds between your leader and second place. And one person who's been busy down in pit lane is Todd Lewis, who's standing by with another Pinty's pit road update.
We'll give you a little bit more information on that 96 car. Just checked in with crew chief Robin McCluskey, and they're pretty happy with the car right now. Mark's reporting back to the team that it feels just a little bit loose in the early going, but they're okay with that because they feel that the track will tighten up and the car's handling will be better suited to the handling of the track later on in the race. They're set up for long runs, and that's what we've seen so far as green flag action right from the start of this one. They think they'll be in good shape by the end.
Tell you that the 3 of Connor Pritico is starting to push. You can see that left front rotor starting to glow. He sees an opportunity to try and get by the points leader and wants to.
Yeah, and that's all part of the learning curve for the 3 of Connor Pritico. You see the little slight glow in the left front rotor, as you're mentioning. This is a heavier car that he's used to. You know, we're about 300 pounds heavier than a late model, and if you think of stopping 300 more pounds for 125 laps straight, it's a big difference. So yeah, that's something that Connor Pritico's going to learn, and it might be tough, but and the other issue here is there's not much air getting to those openings on the front bumper.
Yeah, especially when you're tucked up in behind somebody. So at some point, will Jason Hathaway or anybody on the crew start to say, you know what, back up a little bit, let those brakes cool down?
Absolutely, you know, that's the great thing of having a guy like Jason Hathaway on your box. He's someone that's so accomplished here in the NASCAR Canada Series, especially here at Delaware Speedway. He's another driver that's got a lot of experience here, and he's going to be relaying that information to Connor Pritico.
After he built up nearly a 1.6-second lead, that lead has vanished. DJ Kennington still out in front in the Castrol Edge Dodge, but it's the Quick Strut Napa Racing number 74 of Kevin Lacroix has been the talk of the town. The gap is under half a second. Now it's under 0.4 of a second as Lacroix has just been chomping into that lead lap after lap. Catching is one thing, passing is another, but the speed at which that 74 car has shouldn't take too long.
These guys are holding at an extremely fast pace right now. They've built about a 4-second gap over the third-place car, and they're both running about within a tenth of their fastest lap of the race. So it's an extremely fast pace. We're only on lap 31 here. I just hope both of these guys aren't burning it up just a little too much, but you see the 17 DJ Kennington, he's moving around a little bit, and this is that time where he tries to find a little bit more speed in that 17 as the 74 looms bigger in the rearview mirror.
I love that speech from drivers at the beginning of any race, doesn't matter the length, and they say, you know what, I'm just going to find my way and not burn up my stuff too hard. And here you have a great race at the front, 32 laps in. So DJ Kennington still out in front here in the APC 125 at Delaware Speedway. Welcome back to race number 10 of the NASCAR Canada Series Championship in 2025, the APC 125 here at Delaware Speedway. And it's been all DJ Kennington and Kevin Lacroix, who started mid-pack, and there you can see a good battle for third and fourth as well between Marc-Antoine Cameron and Connor Pritico. So two battles going on at the same time, not necessarily in same parts of the track. They're at different ends at this point. That's how big a lead the top two have.
Yeah, and you'll notice here the 74 is definitely set up a lot looser than the 17 car, DJ Kennington. He gets into the corner really good. He gets to the center really good, but on exit, it's really where that 17 starts to pull away and maintain that advantage, and that's what's going to make it really hard for the 74 car to get that top spot.
Now, I do want to give an update on the 80 of Donald Teach. Remember, if you caught the early parts of this race, he made contact with DJ Kennington trying for the lead. He is back up into 8th spot, and he did not have the benefit of a caution there. He had to get his car righted and get back going, but man, is he coming and is chasing the 47 of LP Dumoulin for 7th spot on the racetrack. So that's another story we're going to be watching as we continue to watch this battle for the lead. And again, the leader is coming up on lap traffic. The GFL number 30 of Jonathan Arts, the driver from London, Ontario, hometown driver, again with 9 starts in a late model here this year at Delaware. 3 top 5s, sitting 7th in points at Delaware Speedway. Jonathan Arts, and again, it's a pretty big jump to go from a late model into one of these NASCAR Canada Series cars.
It is, but he's doing great so far. He's really holding his own here, getting that experience, and just trying to learn as much as he can in the first 125 lap race to apply to the second one.
You can see Brent Weller's just up ahead too, so it's going to be a thick of cars that the leaders will be coming into, and that's the problem when you lay down such a torrid pace as the driver of the Castrol Edge Dodge, DJ Kennington, is doing, and now he slides to the outside. This is a familiar place for DJ Kennington at the front of the field. He's won here 5 times at Delaware Speedway. This is his 13th start in the NASCAR Canada Series at this track.
It's almost 7 seconds between the second and third place car right now, which is over a straightaway here at Delaware Speedway. And if you know Delaware, these straightaways are long, so that just goes to show the quick pace that the 17 and 74 are setting right now, and seem to be holding on to it really well, still turning some great lap times in the 19.3s, which is only about a 10th off of their fastest lap of the race.
So DJ Kennington has been in control since the drop of the green. Have another look at DJ working lap traffic, though, as Brent Weller gives your leader a heart attack. We saw that 81 car in qualifying earlier on today, and it was a handful. I think they set it up in hopes that the track would sort of come to them, and it might be coming to them a little bit slower than they wanted. Currently, Brent Weller sitting in 12th spot. But, yeah, that wasn't something that DJ wanted to see out of his windshield as he works through lap traffic. Malcolm Strawn just ahead in the Curb Records number 98. Let's head back down to the pit lane and check in with Todd Lewis with another Pinty's Pit Road update. Todd?
Oh, yes, and with disappointed Larry Jackson, who is out of this race early. You have struggled with this car all day. You were battling motor problems during practice. What happened? Why did you pull off?
Unfortunately, we dropped a washer down the motor when we did carburetor inspection. Rolled the car over, got into a piston, pulled the head off, cleaned everything up. Obviously, the piston was more damaged than we thought. It ran great. You know, the motors always run good right before they blow up. Car felt great. We were just cruising like 85% there, knowing it was the first race. Got to thank all my sponsors for everything they did this year. Honestly, I don't think we can make next race. I'm out of heart and I'm out of money. So, yeah.
Sorry, Larry. It's a disappointed Larry Jackson who is trying to put on a brave face, but out early in this one.
We talk about the bad luck that the 74 Kevin Lacroix had this year. Larry Jackson has even worse luck. He had a fire at iCar. He had a heavy crash at CTMP. And now this motor troubles, and you can hear he's just completely dejected in that Superior Propane number 84.
It's really unfortunate to see for 84 Larry Jackson. He's a guy that's always got a smile on his face, even when things are going badly like they are right now. But you know, Larry's a great guy that's supported the series for so long. Hopefully a miracle happens and we get to see him at the last one here at Montmagny. But other than that, I'm sure he'll be back in 2026.
Brought on a number of new partners in 2025 as well, did the 84 team of Larry Jackson. But yeah, just a great guy in the pits, always a smile on his face and smiling through gritted teeth, unfortunately, here in the first of 2 125-lap races at Delaware Speedway. As your leader continues to work through lap traffic, the Bolton GM number 69 of Dominic Scrivo tucks to the inside, the Sierra Excavating supported driver. Again, not a lot of oval starts for Dominic Scrivo, but keeping the nose clean on that number 69 as the leaders go by. Still Kennington with the 74 of Kevin Lacroix giving chase. Is that a little bit of smoke from the 28? And we have a caution. The critical path security, number 28 of Ryan Vargas, might have been showing a little smoke. And yeah, you can see a little flick of it. The caution is for the GFL number 30 of Jonathan Arts. So the rookie goes for a loop and looks like he kept it off the wall.
It's always a good thing keeping it off the wall. And now another thing he might not be used to, caution laps count in the NASCAR Canada Series, so he's got to get this thing turned around, not to lose more laps under the yellow flag here.
That is something that new drivers aren't necessarily used to. When you come out of a regular Saturday night shootout, caution freezes the field and you don't risk losing a lap, so you can take your time getting that car righted. You got to get going.
Yeah, and especially where he was parked there. That's not an easy place to be parked uphill on the banking towards the outside wall as he brings it down pit road here. Maybe some bigger issues for the number 30 of Jonathan.
Doesn't appear to be any damage to the 30 as he heads down pit lane. We'll take a quick break as we continue under caution here in the APC 125. Welcome back to Delaware Speedway, just outside of London, Ontario. I'm Dave Bradley. Joined with me in the booth is Trayton Lapcevich. Todd Lewis is pitside for us here today, under caution for a spin involving that car, the 30 of the rookie Jonathan Arts. But it bunches the field for the first time here as we come up to lap 60, and that's good news for a number of drivers, and we'll talk about them. But first, let's head down pit side and check in with Todd Lewis with another Pinty's pit side update.
How was something at the car?
You think there's eating ice cream right now? You never know.
I wouldn't hold it against me. We're nearing the midway point of this APC 125. DJ Kennington doing
And we'll catch up with Todd in just a little bit, but one of those drivers is the 80 of Donald Teague. Remember, he had issues, went for a spin. Look, there you see the nose of that red car. He's going to restart in 6th. So he's back in the battle, and he was turning some lap times that were very competitive as we work through the Pinty's restart zone and back to green here in the APC 125.
Great drive off of turn 2 for the 74 of Kevin Lacroix. He's going to be in the preferred lane here through 3 and 4.
There you can see the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron taking a look underneath the 74. Does not make contact. Slots in behind Connor Pritico in 4th. 5th place, still the 27 of Andrew Ranger, although Ranger is getting racy, taking a look under the 3 as we continue with the battle for the lead as DJ Kennington, and now we have a couple cars involved in a skirmish. No caution as Brent Weller and the 98 of Malcolm Strawn get going. You can still see the smoke hanging in turn number 2. And there is the battle for 4th spot. Connor Pritico had it at the line the last time. He won't have it this time, and the 27 had to use the 3 to get around 3 and 4.
A little body check there through 3 and 4, and it just gets really unbalanced in the bottom of 3 and 4 here, especially with these NASCAR Canada Series cars. You get another look at the 2 cars spin out in turn 1.
Yeah, it looks like it was just Malcolm Strawn that went for the spin. Brent Weller decided to take evasive action. Again, no caution as they get going. Those 2 drivers a couple of laps down to your race leader, who continues to be DJ Kennington in the Castrol Edge Brimstone Games number 17. The 74 of Kevin Lacroix giving chase. Let's try once again, head down pit side and check in with Todd Lewis with another Pinty's pit road update.
Well, you just had a little trouble with the 30 car. I checked in with Dave White, who's fielding that car for Jonathan Arts, and it's just a matter of getting used to and comfortable in that car. Jonathan Arts is a towering individual, and they've got the seat as far back as they can, but his legs are extremely long. It's trying to make sure that you clear the brake pedal when you get off the brake pedal, and sometimes that can upset the car, but Jonathan Arts doing a terrific job and been running in the top 10, but still getting used to this NASCAR Canada Series machine.
Interesting, and something you don't often think of is tailoring the car to fit the driver, especially when you're only on a part-time schedule.
Yeah, it's tough when things happen so fast as well. You know, Jonathan Arts, it was only a matter of time before, got the deal done with David White, get fitted in the car, and get to the track here on Saturday night. So doing a great job so far. You're going to have those little bit of mishaps sometimes. Just you learn from that stuff. But one thing you're going to want to look at, Donald Teague just turned the fastest lap of the race by nearly 2/10 at a 19.083, and he's sitting in 4th spot right now.
Oh, boy. Yeah, he's managed to clear this battle. Andrew Ranger and Connor Pritico are in
now
his
3rd.
rearview mirror. Yeah, now he's 3rd. He's got around the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron. So the Gatois Construction number 80 of Donald Teague from Ouacatel, Quebec, is the driver that we are watching. We talked about how Kevin Lacroix was so quick through the first 30 laps of this race. Now it's all Donald Teague. He's gone from the front, had a spin in turn number 1, did not get a caution, came halfway back up through the field, did get a caution, and now 10 laps after that yellow flag, he's already up to 3rd. Donald Teague is on a tear.
And you can see just how great that car is handling here. He doesn't have to oversteer, doesn't have to understeer. It's just stuck all the way through the corner, which is a lot different. You see the 17 of DJ Kennington as he goes through turn 3 and 4. He slides up a little bit, gets a little bit sideways, lose some time, and we'll take a look here.
Well, and I was just going to talk about how clean everybody was driving, and now the critical path security, number 28 of Ryan Vargas, goes for a half loop. Quick half spin. He manages to grab a gear and get back going, so we avoid another caution. But Vargas is going to lose a ton of track position. He was battling with the 9 of Matthew Kingsbury in the Duro King Chevrolet, and there he goes.
Just got in there a little bit too deep on the inside of the 9 car, lose the rear end, gets it around, but gets back going, doesn't lose a lap, lose some positions, but just sets him back just a little bit.
Doug Brown is his crew chief this weekend at the DJK Stables. We mentioned that car prepared out of the same shop that the 17 is, and Brown will just calm him down and get that car back underneath him as battle for second now heats up between the 74 of Kevin Lacroix and Donald Teege. But boy, look at how easy that car turns down the racetrack.
It's one thing to get pointed straight off the corners here, but when you get pointed straight and have a lot of drive, that's when you know you got a good piece. As we see Donald Teege work to the inside of the 74, and he sticks it so well and is able to get pretty good position on that 74 car headed in turn 1.
Donald Teege having a chassis that's built at McCall's race shop, which is not too far from this track here at Delaware Speedway. He has Don Thompson Jr. as his crew chief this year. We've talked about the benefit of having somebody like Don Thompson Jr. Don Thompson Jr. has several wins and thousands upon thousands of laps here at Delaware Speedway to his credit as well. So yeah, just so much experience in his corner.
Yeah, it's a really good pairing there in general. I mean, you got Donald Teege behind the wheel, McCall chassis, as you mentioned, a lot of experience here, and then Don Thompson Jr. You can't really get much better than that, and it's really showing right now as the 80 car goes to work running down the 17 at DJ Kennington.
Yeah, take nothing away from the driver too. Donald Teege is pointing that car in the right direction. His only win in the NASCAR Canada Series came in Saskatoon back in 2018, and he's had so many opportunities in the time since, but something has happened or he's just come up a little bit short. But Donald Teege is the driver on the move right now. 1.2 seconds is your lead. DJ Kennington now back to the new second place driver, Donald Teege.
That battle between Donald Teege and Kevin Lacroix allowed DJ to stretch his lead out just a little bit. Donald's still turning some pretty good laps, but DJ matching him at the same time, not really able to close that lead up right now, the 80 of Donald Teege.
DJ did the same thing with Kevin Lacroix in the early part of this race as Lacroix was closing, and then DJ turned up the wick on the 17 as well and gapped him a little bit as the 96 Marc-Antoine Cameron settles into 4th. Andrew Ranger in the 27 in 5th. That's a battle for tops in points too, so one we'll be watching over the course of this event. And let's head back down pit side. Check in with Todd Lewis with another Pinty's Pit Road update. Todd.
Well, I'll give you a little bit more information on Donald Teege. You checked in with the team, and yeah, they're pretty happy with the car. It has been radio silence from Donald Teege after that early incident where he dove up the inside and has been on a charge ever since. It is very quiet, but you can see the enthusiasm in this team just watching those lap times click off, time after lap, and he is just going faster and trying to run down that 17 car, but they are very excited about their prospects.
He's got to keep an eye on the lap counter as well because we're already 83 laps into this 125 lap affair. Again, it's 2 sprint races playing out here at Delaware Speedway. Race number 10, race number 11 in the 2025 season schedule. And so it's not quite as long as some of these drivers are used to. We talked about it benefits Donald Teege, who loves to go flat out right from the drop of the green. But now he's got to go even harder to close the gap on Kennington, and he is. He ate 0.3 of a second that last time around into Kennington's lead.
Yeah, I've been watching that really closely, and Donald Teege still running times in the low 19.1s. DJ's more so been in the higher 19.2s, so the 80 of Donald Teege about 1/10 of a lap faster than DJ right now. But you never know. DJ could just be letting them get there, saving his stuff, and then might stretch that lead back out as he did with the 74 car.
I mean, you've run here before. You won here in 2023. How difficult is it for these drivers to keep those lap times so low at this stage in the run? You're 86 laps in.
I'm really surprised, honestly. You know, usually we see a little bit more fall off at Delaware, but these guys are running laps still within 1/10 of a second of their fastest lap of the race. So that just goes to say something about these General Tires. They're not wearing off too much at all.
Well, a tribute to General Tire for bringing a good, resilient compound to Delaware Speedway this time, and it's the GM Paye number 27 of Andrew Ranger getting pressure from the APC Leland number 3 of Connor Pritico. Pritico, a 2023 late model champion here at Delaware Speedway, is coming to grips with the NASCAR Canada Series cars. Competitive in practice, actually led a lot of practice in that EHR prepared number 3, and he's having a very good outing. Again, this is a battle for 5th spot. Not necessarily the battle that Andrew Ranger would like to see, because the driver who is chasing him in the points battle is the 17 of DJ Kennington, who's out in front, and the difference between those two is just 5 points. So at this point, DJ Kennington stands to leapfrog the 27 up into second.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Andrew running in 5th behind Marc-Antoine Cameron. It's not really good for any of his situations right now. So just trying to make the most of this race, I feel like. If he can get a good feel on the car, make some good adjustments heading into race 2, he can potentially gain some of those points back and then some.
Here we go. The leader's starting to get into some lap traffic as Vargas looks to the outside around Malcolm Strawn, but that allows your leader to close up pretty quickly. They're side by side in front of your race leader, DJ Kennington, and that's going to allow the 80 of Donald Teage to close right in. So Teage will only be a couple of tenths of a second at the line behind. So DJ Kennington remains out in front. We'll take another quick break here on Rev TV. And the green flag laps continue to tick down as your race leader continues to be the driver from nearby St. Thomas, Ontario, DJ Kennington. This is his home track. He's got a lot of family and a lot of friends in the crowd here today, but he's getting some pressure now from Donald Teage. The Gadawa construction number 80 has closed in a little bit. And now 0.6 of a second at the stripe as Kennington goes around the outside of the Jura King, number 9 of Matthew Kingsbury. Next time by, it'll be lap 100, so it'll be a 25-lap shootout to the end.
DJ's been doing a really good job at managing this race as well as getting through lap traffic. It seems like just as the 80 starts to close in, they catch another couple lap cars, and DJ's kind of able to maneuver that car to the inside, outside lane, wherever he needs to be, and still keep those lap times low.
Can update you on a couple of battles we were watching earlier. Connor Pritico did manage to get around the 27 of Andrew Ranger and is now chasing the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron. It seems like he's on an island compared to everybody else. Kevin Lacroix has also dropped back from this lead battle. So Lacroix in third, chasing these two, DJ Kennington and the 80 of Donald Teage. Problems for the 69 of Dominic Scrivo, and it looks like a flat right front tire in the Sierra Excavating Chevrolet. And that happens here. I mean, if you have to put too much wheel into it, steering wheel, you tend to run out that right front tire, and it wears out fairly quickly. Potentially some contact too, but it's the risk you run, right?
That's right. And you maybe just get a little bit outside of the groove as well, and you run over some rubs. We got a yellow flag here.
Oh, it's a tire off. That is not from Dominic Scrivo because it was a chrome wheel that went on the 69, but this appears to have been the center section is broken out of that wheel, it looks like.
Now that's even worse than having a flat tire.
Sure is. And we have a caution now with 23 laps to go, and for Donald Teach, that means he's going to restart to the outside of DJ Kennington. So over 100 laps after the fact, it is Jonathan Artz in the 30, and I believe it is the right front corner. You can see that car listing to the right side, so he smartly got out of it fairly quickly and lets it come to a rest on the racetrack. We'll get a quick look at what did happen. There's the 30 slowing, and there's the tire in the air it got after making contact with the wall. It's a good thing it missed. There was the leaders going by, so
we had a really good battle brewing up there.
It's true, but that could have caused tons of damage to that car, any of those cars, if it hit on the way through. But the GFL number 80 losing that general tire and might make a souvenir for somebody. It's the record called to get Jonathan back to the paddock area. They'll have a little bit of time to fix before we get to the NTN 125. And we hope to see him back out in the Green for Life number 30. But yeah, it's going to set up a pretty decent showdown, isn't it? Right for the top spot. DJ Kennington again started on pole and has led every single lap of this race so far. He held off an early challenge. You see the donut on the door. That is because of the 80 of Donald Teach. That caused Donald Teach to spin out. Teach has managed to work his way back up through the field, and he's going to have another go at him.
Yeah, it really seems like the 17 of DJ Kennington might just be a little bit more consistent than the 80 of Donald Teach. It's kind of interesting to watch because there's times where Donald's consistently the fastest car by 1/10 of a second for 5-10 laps, and then he'll slow up just a little bit, but now it's going to be an even match between the two. The last restart, Donald was back in 6th place. This time he's going to get to start on the front row with DJ Kennington for a shootout of probably just under 20 laps here.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch for us. And Donald Teach is no slouch at this track. We talked about DJ Kennington, his thousands of laps here, 5 times visiting Victory Lane in the NASCAR Canada Series. But Donald Teach, in his 7 starts, has finished 2nd twice, 2022 and 2023. So he does know how to get around here. He has been quick in the past, and he definitely has a very quick package. He's got the fastest lap of the race by about 0.2 of a second as it stands right now, and he set that back on lap 67, so when those tires were already well worn in.
I'm wondering what lane DJ is going to pick here on this restart. As the leader, he has the option to choose the bottom or the top. He's been choosing the bottom, but that 80 of Donald Teach has been quick. If he's able to remain positioned through the outside of turns 1 and 2, it could put him in a really good position to take that lead through turns 3 and 4. So DJ's got to be really strategic about which lane he picks on this restart.
And you saw the 9 of Matthew Kingsbury ahead of the leader, so he is the free pass car. That means he will be put back onto the lead lap. And to give you an idea of how quick the top, well, really the top level cars in this race have been, Kingsbury is sitting in 8th, and he will be the last car on the lead lap when we go back to green. So it just gives you an idea of how quickly they are knocking down these lap cars. How big of a gap that DJ Kennington and Donald Teach had built up on everybody. We've been talking a lot about your race leader, the Castrol Edge Dodge of DJ Kennington. Let's head down pit side and check in with Todd Lewis with another Pinty's Pit Report. Todd?
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about DJ Kennington. Just checked in with the team, and Rick Verburn said car's a little bit loose. They were expecting things to tighten up just a little bit. Hasn't quite gone as far as they had expected with that Castrol car, but DJ's out in front. Certainly knows how to handle things here at Delaware Speedway. Not sure he wanted this caution period and has to fend off the 80 car in a restart, but it's something that they're okay with. They're in pretty good shape. They want that victory. They want to try to cut into that championship lead. A little bit loose, but nothing that they can't handle is the feeling right now with the team.
Todd, what's interesting to me when there you see the damage on the right side for the GFL number 30 of Jonathan Art. So that wheel coming off did a ton of damage to that car. But did you notice on top of the box for DJ Kennington was John Fletcher Jr., who has tons of experience, normally a crew chief for our broadcast partner, Gary Clute, on the road courses, helping out DJ Kennington again here today.
Yeah, I know John has helped out DJ in the past, DJ's team, so really good to have, obviously, Rick Burburn and John Fletcher up on the box, calling the shots for DJ. DJ's been really good behind the wheel as well here tonight, and see if he can close this one off here and finish the APC 125 out front.
It is pretty interesting to have two great minds like Rick Verburn, like John Fletcher Jr., and you can sort of bounce ideas off each other, can't you? I mean, you use that accumulated knowledge and you get a better race car, as proven here today.
It does, and you know, as Rick mentioned, they're a little bit looser than they expected. They were thinking the track was going to tighten up, so you know, they'll have a great opportunity after this first race to kind of go back to the drawing board a little bit and potentially be even faster for the second race, which could be bad news for the rest of the field.
For sure. Well, it's getting set for a restart as the field lines up 2 by 2. There is the 30 still up on the hook down in pit lane. The crew asking for it to be dropped so they can get to work. It is DJ Kennington, and it is Donald Teach into the Pinty's restart zone as we go back to green here at Delaware Speedway.
Really good start for the 80 of Donald Teach as the 17 gets a little slide into 1.
Back end happy was DJ Kennington. Might have made a little contact with Donald Teach. Teach has been very, very good on the inside, and that's where he gets down to in turn number 3. There was a hole. He found it. Now the Galois number 80 is hunting for the top spot. There will be 13 laps to go next time past the stripe. Kennington trying to make that Dodge Challenger as wide as he possibly can. Slides up in turns 3 and 4. Teague's got a run on the inside, but can't maintain down the straightaway.
You'll see the 80 of Donald Teach working so good entry to center as he gets up alongside the 17. This really good position headed into turn 3 here.
Drag race down the back stretch into turn number 3.
Sideways.
Kennington on the outside. They made contact again. Just barely leaning on him was Donald Teach, and Kennington will go from first all the way down to third as Kevin Lacroix will plug the hole. Boy, that was a gift for Kevin Lacroix on the quick strut. Napa Racing number 74 as we have another look at the pass for the lead. This set it up. Just able to get a run on the inside in turn 3, and there's that slight contact. And Kennington had to really back out of it to hold on to it.
That's racing right there. I mean, the 17 DJ Kennington was trying to pinch the 80 as much as he could. The 47 slows on the backstretch with a, looks like a flat right front tire.
Now, some sparks and smoke coming from the WeatherTech number 47 of LP Dumoulin. He was in the top 10, running up around 7th or 8th. At the time that happened. Have another look. You see Pritico slides up the hill. There's contact in front of him between the two GM Paye cars, and then LP makes contact with Andrew Ranger. Immediate cut down tire. Ooh, he kept it off the wall. He just brushed the wall a little bit. But that's heartbreak because we stay green. Now 9 laps to go as the WeatherTech 47 comes down pit lane. And they dropped it off the jack before the tire was back on. So yeah, this is going to be bad to worse for LP. There's your race leader, though, the 80 of Donald Teach. He's about 7/10 of a second out in front. Did he build to that lead? He just maintained that time as DJ Kennington is trying his best to hustle that car. He's managed to get back around the 74 of Kevin Lacroix, the 47 of LP. Something still not right on that car, and he'll head back down pit lane.
Looks like bigger issues with the 47 LP Dumoulin here. That's the risk when you drive around this entire track with a flat right front. It can cause bigger issues such as the ball joint wearing down, the sway bar arm being worn off, and then these issues are just all going to compact and make it difficult for that 47 to get out in race 2.
DJ Kennington's coming. He's about 1/10 of a second quicker than your race leader, Donald Teach. And 5 laps to go. You see Mike Charret, the official starter here for NASCAR Canada Series, give that open palm signal to these drivers as they flash underneath the flag stand. Donald Teach now will be 4 laps away from seeing the checkered flag. The gap was 0.6 of a second. It looks like DJ Kennington is closer, and he is.
DJ just ran his fastest lap of the race here, that last lap. He's applying the pressure to the 80 car, trying to get in his mirror. This is a super easy track to make a mistake at. All it takes is overdriving that entry a little bit, and you go for a big slide. You lose a lot of time. See just how far the 17 is driving in the corner right now.
If there is one driver who knows how to do it, it is the driver currently in second, DJ Kennington. We mentioned he grew up here. He was turning laps as a 15-year-old. Donald Teach has all of his laps in a late model in Quebec. That's where he cut his racing teeth on ovals, but he's quite at home here in front at Delaware Speedway, now with 2 laps to go.
Donald Teach car is still working so great through the ends here. Doesn't look like the 17 DJ Kennington is going to get to him here.
He'll get close in turn 3 and 4. Coming off of 4, we'll see the white flag. 1 more lap to go for the driver from Bois-Catel, Quebec, Donald Teach. One quick look in his mirror off turn number 2. We'll see a flash of green. That's DJ Kennington. A little too far behind to make a stab at it here in turn number 3. He'll close the gap, but it's not enough. Donald Teach will win his first of 2025 here in the first of 2 at Delaware Speedway.
Wow, what an exciting race, and we still got one more.
There's one of his crew members, Fritz, no helmet on, but big smile and some contact there between DJ Kennington. That is not something you often see as a maybe DJ Kennington unhappy with the way Donald Teach drove him up in 3 and 4. Teach coming home the winner. You can see the donuts on the door, and that's not a congratulatory donut from DJ Kennington, I don't think.
No, that was a little bit harder than a congratulatory donut. Yeah, the 17, obviously, he made some contact in the rear bumper here after the checkered. See him give him a little bit of a door down the back straightaway here. Definitely in disagreement about what happened there in the closing laps. That means we're going to be set up for a really exciting final 125-lap race here tonight.
They don't have a lot of, it's not like we've got weeks to go before you get into the next race. There's about hours to go, not even that. We're looking at a green flag right around 8:20 for the second 125-lap race. But wow, what a drive for that driver, and all credit to that team and that driver as he goes around for his victory lap. But Donald Teach, man, did he roll up his sleeves and get to work today. He spun in the early going. He managed to trek his way back up through the field, took advantage of some late race cautions, but man, he did that one all on his own.
He did, and really never gave up as we get another look at the move here for the lead. 17 to DJ Kennington just pushes up a little bit into 1, lets the 80 get side by side. You see in a turn 3, they just both run out of room, make a little bit of contact. 80 gets loose on the inside, slides up to him, and he's away with the lead.
And he really didn't get too loose. It just sort of danced up a little bit. When you're that close, it's so hard to stay off the driver on the outside as Donald Teach will come into the Everum victory lane with that Gulf Fuels flag sailing high. His crew's already there and ready to celebrate. And you can see Donald inside the cockpit getting all of the safety restraints unbuckled. The crew going to work right away because they're taking all of the measurements and staggered measurements to see how much those tires have grown on this race car so they can use that as knowledge for the second one. That's important.
Yeah, so they obviously know tire changes within this 125-lap race, but they are going to get a new set of tires to start fresh on the next 125-lap race. So I'm sure Donald's not going to be requesting too many changes. He's going to want it just as it was here in this first 125.
Kevin Lacroix's already made his way into victory lane. Saw DJ Kennington marching up there. Here's Kennington as he walks up to the window. Oh, there's a... It looks like he's happier than he looked on the racetrack. So Kennington, not known for being that kind of driver, but it's maybe just explaining his side. See, smile.
He leaves with a smile. I was thinking he might have been giving them the congratulations, but you better watch out. But no, it looks like DJ's going to be okay with that one. But you know, at the end of the day, DJ's going to expect that he can probably do the same thing in race 2 here.
Absolutely. Who knows how much DJ is going to use up that bumper in race number 2. It might have been a warning for sure. Let's head down to Everum Victory Lane and check in with Todd Lewis, who's waiting for Donald Teach to jump out.
can
The
hear
80
you
team
now.
and Donald Teague are going to celebrate a victory. After 2 second-place finishes earlier this year, Donald Teague puts all the bad luck that he's had to endure aside and scores a victory, his first since that memorable win in Saskatoon in 2018. And yeah, there is an awful lot of excitement with Donald Teague and this team. What a fight to come all the way from the back of the pack to score a victory here in Delaware.
Yeah, I think it was to an emergency when I started the race, so I should lift a bit. But the car was so good. You know, all my team did a good job. Donnie, Thompson, Paul from McCoy, almost sponsorship, Garois, Vulcan, Teach. You know, finally we got one. You know, we were so close since the last 2-3 years. We got a win, you know. Almost 59 years old, and I can drive again those kids. So I'm very proud of my team, very proud of me. I think we did the job.
They did the job tonight, and you get a chance to do it again in a few minutes.
We're going to try it, believe me, Todd.
Donald Teague is your winner here at Delaware.
He says he can drive with those kids, and he raced with another veteran of the sport, DJ Kennington. And celebrations down in Everham Victory Lane as Donald Teague takes the win in race number 1, the APC 125 lapper here at Delaware Speedway. We'll be back with more here on RevTV.
Kevin, that was
And welcome back to the NASCAR Canada Series, live on RevTV as we continue with our Everham Victory Lane celebrations. As you can see, Donald Teague, the winner, getting interviewed here at the track, but gave it a valiant effort, led the most laps today, but coming home in second spot is the driver of the 17, DJ Kennington. And let's head down to Everham Victory Lane.
Finisher DJ Kennington just discussing with Chase and Sid, his kids, what changes you're going to make. Had a really good car for most of this one.
Yeah, we did. I mean, no complaints. The Castrol Edge car was really good. Just not quite as good as the 80. I mean, he was good right from the get-go too. And in the long run, Todd, we just got a little bit too free. So we got a little bit of adjustment to do here, and hopefully we can go get him in the next 125.
Got the end of the championship a little bit, at least.
That's what we got to keep doing, man. We just keep doing our best, and we'll try to get a win here in the next one.
Thanks, DJ. All right, he's going to go and start to work on his car. We're going to walk over and grab Kevin Lacroix really quickly, who has a third-place finish, a nice podium finish for you after a bounce back this weekend.
Earlier in the race, I thought I really had something for the win, but as the track got better, grippier, we started to lose the front grip a little bit. So, I was just hoping to have a good show ahead of me between DJ and Donald, but I'm happy with the third place. It's a good bounce back from last race.
Good job for Kevin Lacroix, and yes, trying to make some more changes to be even better for the second half of this twin bill here at Delaware.
Smiles all around in Everham Victory Lane, although DJ Kennington not quite as happy as it looked like he could have been through most of this race. Again, leading the most laps, but he did have a dominant car, just not quite as good as the 80 of Donald Teach. That's where it went wrong for Donald Teach in the early going. But interesting, when it comes to the points race, Marc-Antoine Cameron came home in 6th, Andrew Ranger in 4th, so that's going to tumble up the points a little bit.
Yeah, good momentum for Andrew Ranger and DJ Kennington, both gaining a little bit of points on the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron. So we head into race 2 here, and another 125 laps and more points to be gained.
Yeah, so we'll see who can win the second race. That one coming up. Start time around 8:20. So join us again here on Rev TV. Big congratulations, Donald Teach, the winner here in the APC 125.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.